Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is the day that we talk tech right here on the Biz Chicks. We want to say hello to everyone listening on Clubhouse and those of you watching on the replay, as well as those of you who are here with us live. So we just want to take the time to give a shout out to you and say thank you so much for your time this morning. I'm here with my friend and co-host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. So sit back, relax. Let's have some fun today and talk tech. What's happening today in tech, Fran?
Oh, in tech history?
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. January 19, 1999, RIM introduces the BlackBerry. The original BlackBerry devices were not phones, but instead were the first mobile devices that could do real-time email.
Mm-hmm.
They looked like big pagers. Um, and in 2001, the gentleman that wrote this article, he says, I visited the BlackBerry production facility in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. It was surprisingly small at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the way he heard it, the name BlackBerry came from the similarities that the buttons on the original device had to the surface of a blackberry fruit.
Ah.
So, yeah, makes sense. All right, next story. I am skipping a couple of these. January 21st, 1976. Commercial services of the Concorde begins with the London, Bahrain, and Paris Rio routes. The only commercial supersonic jet, the Concorde could travel between New York and London in about 3.5 hours. The Concorde flew commercially for 27 years until being retired on November 26, 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have another? Can we still do the from New York to London in 3.5? Or
I'm sure there is something that replaced that before they retired that. You know what I mean?
oh, okay. Well, hopefully
Don't
they.
ask me what it is, but I'm sure there's a way to get across the country because so many people are going to the Emirates, and that's pretty far. My niece went there, and I think it was 17 hours or something. You know,
So we need something that moves a little faster.
things are moving around the globe. Okay.
Alrighty. So it could go at least 88 miles per hour. And this is January 21st, 1981. Production of the iconic DeLorean DMC-12 sports car begins in Dunmurry, Northern Ireland. While not truly a technological achievement, the DeLorean became known as a symbol of the high-tech 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My last story, January 21st, 2000, the domain name twitter.com was registered.
Mm-hmm.
However, it wasn't until 2006 that the domain was purchased by Twitter Inc. and took the form we know today. That is your week in tech history. And we got Dr. Tachi in the clubhouse and Cheryl Ferguson in the clubhouse. And I want to make sure that the room is public because it doesn't tell me that it's
Mm-hmm.
not. Okay. Hey, Frank. All right. So, Terry, what do you have in stories? I know you go.
Well, I've got two stories. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to start with Instagram. The fact that Instagram is now offering creators up to $35,000 to post videos on its TikTok clone Reels. Okay, remember it launched this program in July, and
Mm-hmm.
now people are starting to see the benefits. Let's see here. Instagram is offering massive sums of money to creators to post videos on its TikTok competitor Reels, as highlighted in a pair of reports from TechCrunch and Business Insider. Instagram announced a bonus program for Reels in July. Okay, up to Zuckerberg said that they're going to be paying up to $1 billion to creators through 2022. And I have heard from people who are giving workshops on how to do Reels and Instagram, and they're receiving like $600, $800, $1,000. I'm going to give you. There really doesn't seem to be any set amount of views you have to have. It's sort of random, according to this report. It says Mandy Corbin, I'm reading from The Verge. Mandy Corbin, a creator with around 52,000 Instagram followers, was reportedly offered up to $1,000, but says that she knows of others being offered $600 to $800. TechCrunch reports that these bonuses appear to be increasing over time. Another creator with 24,000 Instagram followers was recently offered $8,500 for 9.2 million views. The same payout was offered to a Verge staff member for 15,000 followers. So, it seems to be, the rules seem to fluctuate, but they are paying out. And I've heard from several people who've received checks around their reels, and they are focusing on reels because lives don't count in this particular situation. So I wanted you guys to know there's some money to be made if you're willing to do reels. Also, I want to share this one. Just before I move on, does anyone want to make a comment about that?
Anybody want to jump in or weigh in, Dr. Tachi?
So, as you said, it is random, or there doesn't appear to be any rhyme or reason as to how the individuals get picked.
Or no, they are, I think everybody's in the pool. I'm talking about how many views you have to have or how many followers you have to have. I think that from what we can see, it's just a push to build up their reels in competition with TikTok.
Right, because they are feverishly trying to compete with TikTok and have it. And I am actually quite surprised, and it's not often that I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Reels has taken off the way it has. I guess that's one thing the old Master of None has really tried to put some energy into, because it's starting to work for them.
And I think the fact that people are really actually getting paid is a real incentive.
Okay, a real incentive, REEL. Okay.
No pun intended.
I have another question.
Yes.
Did they say you said how much is each creator getting paid, or it varies?
It varies. It varies from everywhere from someone got $35,000 for Reels. It says here, let me read this sentence. On the high end, TechCrunch points out to one Reddit post where someone has been offered as much as $35,000 for their reels to get 58.3 million views in a month. That was in the Business Insider report. Okay. However, they also go on to say that a creator with around 52,000 Instagram followers are being offered $600 to $800. That's not chump change once a month for putting up some videos.
So you're saying they had about 50,000 followers?
Yeah. And then someone with as low as 15,000 followers, they were offered, the same payout of 8,500 for their views, but the views were like 9.2 million.
And I do understand that there has to be some sort of
criteria.
Criteria. Facebook/Instagram is in the business of trying to make money from this. They're not here to be nice to us. Prior to popular belief, they're not here to be our friends. But it really seems that even if they're not saying that, that seems to be the criteria, because they want to keep people on the platform, get eyes on the content on the platform. And so what does that mean for somebody with like 5,000 followers? People that are like micro influencers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Are creating. What does that mean for them? That's what I'm wondering.
There is a payout. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but when I was in a workshop, they were talking about that it does go down to the micro creator.
Good to know.
Good to know. And so you can read this article over here on The Verge. I don't want to read to you guys, but it does mention the fact that YouTube and Snapchat are offering their own incentives to creators. In August, YouTube announced it would pay up to $10,000 a month for popular videos. Meanwhile, last month, Snapchat announced Spotlight Challenges, which offers various rewards to incentivize making videos. Snapchat says its prize pools typically range from 1,000 to 25,000. So, you know, here's the deal: we want to make some videos, and we want to post. Okay, there you go.
It still goes back to not just posting for the sake of posting,
Mhm.
having something
To
of
the,
value to share and to
to entertain,
to
to
say, yeah,
mhm.
like TJ can tell us the criterias too, which is what you just mentioned: one, entertain, educate, and there was something else. TJ, see, we got to take another class with TJ. But you need to educate.
Well, I mean, basically, we're in the creator economy. If you guys didn't know, this is a creator economy where
Mhm.
we've moved beyond posting your lunch. Remember
Yeah.
those days,
Yeah.
early social media days,
Mhm.
posting your lunch, and now you have to entertain, you have to inform, you have to give value. It
That
has to
was
be
it.
something that people want to hear, or else they're
Mhm.
not going to engage with your content. And I think that's where people are missing it. Like, well, what's going on? I'm posting, but are you? That's why I was talking about quotes. Quotes are great. Like Mark posts quotes, and that's because that's his wheelhouse. And I
Mhm.
want him to post quotes. But there, I was just saying people that post like Martin Luther King Jr. birthday, and you saw all of those crazy posts from people who didn't even care about diversity or anything, and it's just odd. So you don't get any engagement off of that. So when
Mhm.
you're doing these reels and TikToks, it has to be targeted and specific to an audience that wants to hear what you have to say. And now you have to do it in an entertaining way, in
Mhm.
your way. And you don't have to, everybody goes, I'm not getting on TikTok because I don't want to dance. There are tons of videos of people not dancing. They're just talking to
Mhm.
the camera. They got words
Yeah.
on the screen. They got things popping up. That's the entertaining part of it. Or they're using the green screen. That's the
Mhm.
entertaining part of it. So you don't copy
Mhm.
what somebody else does. You do you. You find your niche and your audience, and they will travel with you everywhere online. That's the deal.
You, you know what,
Beautiful.
Jerry? I think that's the interesting thing about all of this, because people, usually the ones who complain about, I don't want to dance or I don't want to do this, are the ones who don't want to do it anyway. So they
Right?
just
Mhm.
get something else to complain about, because if they looked and they understood, they'll
Mm-hmm.
realize that TikTok has come so far from when it was
Yes.
basically, or even in the early days of when they renamed as TikTok, that I mean, you'll find dance, but depending on, the algorithm goes off of what you seek out. So you can get away with never seeing a dance video if you do it right. So I think, those people are the ones who don't want to do it anyway often.
Right.
Right.
Right, Dr. Tati. They hear, and this has been happening since the days of Google Plus and beyond. People don't investigate the platform for themselves, but they listen to what a tech journalist wrote, or somebody in a group said, or they
Mhm.
went one time in the early days, like she said in TikTok, the early days, and they saw dancing teenagers and turned off. But now I'm telling you, TikTok is that algorithm that you teach it to show you what you want. So
Mhm.
if you like travel videos, I like travel videos where people are, showing the scenes and it looks so great. Next time you go into TikTok, you see more of that. And then it's also based on what you search for. I went into TikTok the other day and I did a search. Their search engine is so powerful. I I searched for one thing, and I kept scrolling, and TikTok suggested, like Google, it suggested other things that were in relation to the keywords that I put in, and I was blown
Mhm.
away. And it just kept going and going. So I mean, TikTok is the juggernaut, and it's not stopping. So if people want to ignore it or poo-poo it, that's at their own risk, because that's where the attention is. And social
Right.
media, for your, as a business owner or a brand, you building a business or a brand, you need attention. Well, that's where it is right now, TikTok.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
So the takeaway here for this is you want your whatever you're posting, and this is on any social media, educate, inform, or entertain. Those are the three
Yeah,
words I was looking for.
yeah,
Educate, inform, or entertain.
and
And,
bring value.
all of those need to bring the value.
Yep. It has to connect with your audience, and you have to be. There's so many. It's like a layer. It's so many layers. There's so many
Mhm.
layers to this. You be you. You research. You look at keywords. You search. You watch the trends. You see what's going on, and then you try it, and then not. But TikTok is great because you can do a video today in like 3 to 6 months. You'll still get reactions on it. Whereas
Mm.
on Instagram, if you post something today, you'll get that engagement that's based on whoever's following you and engaging with you, and after that, it just drops off forever, off a cliff. But
Yeah,
TikTok,
it'll stay there.
It
Yeah.
lives on.
I've done, because I've started to do like marketing charts of the day, and I did one 2 or 3 months ago. I still get engagement on the thing today. It's like 2 or 3 months old,
Wow.
but TikTok is serving it. It's
Mhm.
Right.
continually serving it. Like it's like the buffet. Every time you go up, there's something different, and you try it, and the next time you go up, there might be a different version of the dish. But TikTok is this thing that it's awesome. It's awesome. And it's not dance. I always say it's not dancing Tina. There is Old Man Steve. We talked about that. Remember Old Man
Old
Steve?
man Steve.
I found the couple that they rescued a squirrel at 3 months old, and the thing, they got it domesticated and they dress it up and they do all. It was so entertaining, and that was TikTok. It
Mhm.
sucked me
Mhm.
in, and I was like, "Why am I watching this lady dress up the squirrel in little outfits and?" And I was just fascinated because the squirrel. I mean, it's a squirrel. Who can
And the
catch a
squirrel
squirrel?
is probably thinking, what are these people doing to me?
No, the squirrel is used to. They had it at 3 months. They got it as a
So
babe. They
he's
rescue
clueless.
animals, right? They rescue animals, and I just, my mouth dropped open when I saw the thing. I was like, how did they do that? And it sucked me in to watch more of their videos.
Mm.
That's just it. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
You cannot figure this out. The only thing about TikTok is that it will give you what you want. Totally. Totally.
I can see how, okay, so TikTok is the short form videos. YouTube is the longer form videos, although they're trying to bring shorts out. But those two platforms are the
Mhm.
only ones that stay after
Mm.
But
you.
see, and speaking of YouTube, YouTube is around because it's the oldest, the biggest is Google, and they keep innovating and adding stuff. I mean, they're not great at it, but they're
Mhm.
still around.
Right.
They're still, because remember, the big show on Netflix, Cobra Kai, came from
Yes.
YouTube. It started as a
Right.
YouTube show.
My
Insecure.
grandson loves that thing.
Oh, Cobra Kai is great. It's great. If you love the Karate Kid movies, it's,
Yes, he is. He is redoing their videos
yeah.
and posting them on his.
They're on
Yeah.
season 5 now on Netflix, coming up. But see, that's the
Wow.
thing. Also with Issa Rae and Insecure, she started out on YouTube. So I
On
think YouTube
YouTube.
is always going to be there as the granddaddy. I call it the granddaddy, but TikTok is the young upstart. And they both in the same. They're both in the video short form lane, and TikTok is moving into long form, because remember, you could do up to 3 minutes now. And I think I read
Mhm.
that they want to go into making like short form video even longer, like episodic TV. I think I read somewhere.
Wow.
If, Dr.
Wow.
Tachi can tell me if that's true. I think I read that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I saw
Mhm.
that come across my, I would say, desk, but that doesn't come across the desk anymore, right? It comes across
Right.
your phone. So
Or
yeah,
desktop.
absolutely.
Could be
The
desktop.
desktop.
Yeah.
Who does that? I don't even have a desktop anymore. I only have a laptop. But I think it's really interesting the avenues that would provide, because I'm like, you can already do that now with YouTube, but market share is so much more on TikTok because of the way your algorithm works, where you can get discovered so quickly. So I'm postulating that there are a lot of people that are going to really start to take production more seriously because of that.
Right. And remember, I think I mentioned a couple stories. I think it was I'm not sure if it's Samsung TV. One of the TV manufacturers was making it where TikTok came with the TV, like Roku and stuff like that. So that's where, you hear they're trying to go into longer format. So we'll see. But
so I'm going to ask this question. How many in here live or on Clubhouse, how many of you have TikTok accounts that you're using?
Oh, that you're using. I've got an account.
Okay, Dr. Tachi is using hers.
Yep, I saw one of hers today. I went into TikTok this morning. Her video, they were talking about Martin Luther King Jr., right? I think that was it. It was a clip from that.
And so what I would say is that we need to read the temperature in the room, and maybe we need to have a look. I know we have real estate over there because I know you all have followed TJ's tip about making sure you own your domain on every platform, even if you don't use it. But this one, I'm thinking maybe we need to start using it, since it does serve up discovery.
Yeah. And we've been talking about, I don't know how long I've been talking about TikTok on Tech Friday, that it's been at least 2, maybe 3 years. I said, get on it, even though you don't understand, that was the deal. And they said with this was what they said with Snapchat. We don't understand Snapchat. Get on it and play with it. You don't have to understand it. That's where the attention is. And attention is the key. That's where everything starts. How do you get attention to what your business or brand is talking about and what you're selling? Is because that's the end goal, is attention. So if everybody, it's like, okay, Twitter's great, but it's niche. There's only certain, it's tech journalists and the tech world, NFTs and other things. But if you're talking about something else, there's conversations, but it's not hot like on TikTok. TikTok is hot.
And the other thing is that when you get over there and when people are discovering you, you're moving things forward now. Your clients are not going to be on Facebook for long. Okay, because of the age factor, we have to play to a younger audience. Whatever we're doing, the audience is a younger age set. Some of the other okay.
And here's the key. You can say Gen Z is not they don't buy your product, or your product is for say your product is for boomers. Yes, now, but whatever Gen Z does, it trickles up to each generation.
Right.
So boomers are doing things now that Gen Z was doing a year, 2 years ago. They're on TikTok now. They weren't on TikTok 2 years ago.
Oh man, Steve.
Yeah. May I?
Yes.
May I also add something? This is just so rich of a conversation, I must add. So the other thing is too, when it comes the biz chicks, you can attest to the fact that when it comes to business and things, you're actually not just thinking about this generation of consumer or customer. It's the next generation. So how are you, if you're thinking about longevity, how are you going to draw in that next generation? And thinking about the fact now, there is I'm sure you've all seen it on TikTok and also on Reels. There's a thing that, 70s and 80s babies are out here looking younger than everybody else. Have you seen that?
Oh no!
I have to see that.
Yeah, so go to TikTok, and there's this sound, and it goes 70s and 80s babies are out here looking younger than everybody else, and anybody that's like Gen X or lower end of millennials, everybody's like posting how they look and all of that. I'm like, yeah, they look better than everybody else. So what that means is that they also, because they're looking younger, living longer, they take different things into account. So what your product is that may be aimed at boomers now, once the that generation becomes that age, they may not need or want that. So how are you going to change and shift for that next generation of consumer?
Yeah, I see it. If you go to TikTok and search just put 70s, it'll pop up. It'll say 70s and 80s baby looking younger. So I'm gonna look at those videos later.
Okay, and then wait. What about the 50s and 60s people?
What's that?
We're done.
50s and 60s?
You don't get any play unless you start your own hashtag.
Look, let me tell you something. They just started recognizing Gen X as actually existing. So we can't help you. We can't help you.
They totally ignore us, Gen X. We're ignored. It's like the disappearing generation, or just the invisible that they don't care.
Like we didn't do nothing to help anything, right?
Exactly.
You know what you did? You all left us at home alone to be latchkey kids and to fend for our damn selves. And now we're taking back our lives.
Anybody in Clubhouse?
Congratulations.
Anybody in Clubhouse, if you want to join in on this conversation, just raise your hand and we'll get you up on the stage.
Well, at some point, we need to talk to TJ. I do have another story, but I'm not going there. I'll just save it for next. I'm gonna save it for next week.
Because we got a lot. I mean, we're talking about TikTok, but there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot that has taken place.
So let me get my notes out.
Oh no! Listen,
we were on TJ.
No, we were just commenting on some stuff. So we're going to TJ now because we missed TJ and we
I'm back. Thank you. I feel great to be back. Actually, I've missed all of this. I don't think I've talked online in like 2 weeks almost.
Oh wow. And you look so good. Thank
you. I was telling you that I have sleep is underrated.
It's a wonderful thing.
It's underrated.
You have to get your 8 hours. I was just poo-pooing the 8, but now I gotta get that 8. All right, so I'm glad to be back. Thank you all. All right, so there's a lot happening this week. Social media updates this week. We're going to start with Snapchat. So Snapchat is limiting friend recommendations for the teenager accounts. So they're making it hard. What they're trying to do is making it harder for adults to find teens in the app by limiting friend recommendations in its quick add feature. So there's a feature in Snapchat where you go in and it recommends people to friend. But now they're saying, okay, if you're an adult, you're not going to get a recommendation of someone who's 13 to 18. So actually 13 to 17-year-olds. So now the app won't show the accounts of 13 to 17-year-olds in quick add unless they have a certain number of accounts in common. This is what Snap is saying. So it won't prevent them from connecting at all. It's just making it more difficult for strangers to get inadvertently connected to teenage accounts
and allow them to connect with family.
Right, and they're doing this because unfortunately drug dealers are using Snapchat to do their thing. So and Snapchat is aware of it, so they're trying to stop that. So that's good. Adults shouldn't be connected to teens at all unless they're related.
We have a comment over here in the Clubhouse.
They are using Snapchat to conduct deals or recruit?
Maybe it's just marketing. Maybe it's just marketing, Tachi.
No, I have a note here. I didn't go into details. They said because in a blog, Snap did a blog post. The company said the change was part of its work to combat the fentanyl epidemic and to keep drug dealers from finding new ways to abuse Snapchat. So they're aware of that thing. Because remember, Snapchat, once two friends connect, you can private conversation all you like.
Oh yes, and it's encrypted and all of that.
Yes, it's encrypted, all of that stuff. So here it is. The good stuff is being used by the bad actors.
It disappears. Yeah, all of that.
And Snapchat knows about it. So I mean, what exactly can they do legally? I don't know, but they're aware of it. So this was one of the things they're trying to do. I don't know how successful it will be, but it's an effort.
Well, and it sounds like they may have, and I know everybody doesn't want to do this. They might have to loosen that privacy thing and open the door and just tell everybody, "Hey, you come in
Well,
here. The
see,
door is open, so everybody can see what's
well,
happening."
see, here's the thing. Now, if I'm gonna just, I don't know this. I'm just giving a suppose that the drug dealer connecting with their people, that they're talking in code in
Probably.
privately in Snapchat.
Mhm.
So they probably have something they say that doesn't say, "Hey, you want to buy drugs?" Is
Something
Yeah.
something
else.
else that
Oh,
the group has a way of talking, because that's what Snapchat is. The snap teens that use Snapchat, this is how they do it. Say they have a group of friends and they're going to school and they want to wear something, coordinate something for school. They all have a conversation in Snapchat privately amongst the group, just like having a group conversation.
mhm.
So that's what I'm saying, that the drug dealers are using that secrecy of having a group discussion to do these things, and Snapchat is aware of it. Now, here's
Mhm.
another deal. Now, people have to remember, if you criminal, the law enforcement, they're all over social media. So,
Yeah,
Mhm.
they are. It's kind of
so,
like the spy movies when you go into the restaurant and you sit down. So, how's
mm-hmm,
the egg
mm-hmm.
and toast today? Is a
Yeah,
signal for something.
right.
Mhm.
So that's the kind of conversation they're having,
Mhm.
because they meet in real life, and they or somebody says, "Oh, hey, so and so, connect on Snapchat with so and so and get what you want," and then they talk in code. They tell the person what to say in code on Snapchat.
Mm.
I'm assuming that's how it goes. I don't. That hasn't happened to
I
me.
would
So
not know.
You know the
That-
yeah,
danger is that things can always be decoded.
right,
Right,
Why
right.
right.
why would they not? Again, I'm not trying to give people ideas, but that's the kind of thing you do on the dark web. Why would you do it on Snapchat?
Because
It's
that's where
because
your
they're.
audience
It's
is.
like, okay, Dr. Touch. It's like Fran just said. You go in a restaurant and say, "Hey, how are the eggs today?" That's a coded message to the people in the group.
Right, right. No, I get it. I get it.
Hmm.
But it just feels like with social media, it's that much more exposed
Right,
because people, it feels like there's always going to be some mole in there who would
right,
either
exactly.
put out.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Yep, and
Go ahead.
that's
Sorry.
I think that's what they wanted it to do instead
And
of
it's
taking, because the people are not going to the dark web.
right. They don't have to.
The
And
masses
again,
aren't going
they're
over there.
they can use Facebook groups for this. It doesn't have to be Snapchat. They can use Instagram DMs, any kind of direct messaging. Because remember, there's Messenger, there's Instagram DM, there's
Right.
Snapchat, there's Telegram, there's Signal, there's WhatsApp, there's more. There's a
Mhm.
whole bunch of them where, but that's what I was saying about law enforcement, that they, it's the same thing when they want to, in real life, when they want to find out what the gangs are doing, they infiltrate, learn the language. Same thing with the, what's going on if they find a terrorist cell, like especially here in
Mhm.
New York, they have officers that infiltrate the cell and learn the language and listen, and then, like you said, they decode it and they can go and figure out what's going on.
Mhm.
So
Use your powers for good, people.
yes, use your power, but unfortunately, because piggybacking off of that, I heard a story the other day. There's a scam with the QR codes now. The
Yes.
Right.
QR. Yeah,
It's like,
they
come on.
scam that.
And that's why even with the text messages, the 5-digit codes,
Mm-hmm.
the phone companies wanted to shut them down, like T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, and them. So you know how you can text 33777 or text a code to that or
Mhm.
keyword to that. They wanted to shut that down because of the spamming and misuse of it, but they just haven't done it yet. Everybody's waiting with bated
Right,
breath if they're going
Mhm.
to do it.
You know
right.
what they have done? Some people now, some providers are making them go to like a phone number as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just that thing. Now, there are a couple of text groups that I belong to. They're like, okay, well, we're switching because now they're making us use a phone number.
Like the whole long
The whole long
Right.
10-digit number. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's just
It's,
it. There's always hackers and scammers. As we get
Mhm.
deeper in technology, it's just going
Mhm.
to get worse, and then people have to educate themselves. We have to tell each other or watch the news and say, "Hey, watch out for this scam," or "This is what's happening." It's just unfortunate.
Or check in here at Tech
Right.
Life Weekly with the Tech Divas on Biz Chicks,
Yeah.
just so you know what's happening out there.
Yeah. So let's get back to the social media this week. So there's a new app called Roll, Roll. Roll is an app letting you subscribe to paywall creator content. So I remember I said the creator economy is with us. So this Roll app, it creates an easy way for creators to make an extra buck while showing a more authentic version of themselves to their fans. Now
Okay.
this gets it. So now remember, it's
Is this
Instagram. You want me to explain? Let me explain some more.
Go ahead.
So you know how on Instagram you have the influencers that create a fake life of this is how they live, private jets, this and that, but it's not real. And lots of influencers have gotten caught with designer clothes or this car, this and that, and it's all fake. So they're saying that that the creators can charge for access to their Instagram close friend story. Oh, no, this is something else. Hold on. It has nothing to do with Instagram. They're just saying that this is like that, like there's a separate area where you can have people charge to see the real you or to show their real life
are
or
they
what they're
only
really working
fans?
on. It's not OnlyFans. It's kind of like Patreon OnlyFans. But it's just they show content that's not polished and professional as what they post on their main feed on Instagram.
Oh, okay. So this is like
And the
raw
creator feels
after hours stuff.
creator feels safer showing this content on Roll than on Instagram because they may have brand deals with corporations or different brands, and they have to feel like they have to present a face.
Yes.
So
So
it's this Roll app. So here's a statement. This might from the app. Our punchline is essentially that we give fans access to their favorite creators' camera rolls. The way that it works is that fans subscribe to see content from creators that they're not going to be able to see anywhere else. It lets creators be the most authentic and real versions of themselves. So it ties into people have created a life on Instagram that they want people to envy or look up to, but then that's not their real life. And then they can go to this app, and then of course you have to pay, and then you get to see what they want to show you in a more authentic way.
Blooper reel. So they want us to pay for the blooper reel of somebody's life.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Here's the examples. Here's the examples. You might take a photo of the perfect or not so perfect omelet you made, a bad selfie, a screenshot of a meme you like, or something weird you saw on a walk. These images may not make sense on your carefully planned Instagram grid, but they could work on this platform because you can kind of let it hang out and just be yourself and not be judged.
Okay.
Also, one more thing. There's no liking or commenting on this post. There's no liking or commenting. You're just showing a bad selfie or you made a mistake or behind the scenes, and no one can comment or like it. There's no judging on it.
Okay, so do you have to be like a really popular creator to have an account?
I would think
go over there and just show me without makeup?
I would think so. Okay, now wait, one more thing before we start talking about it. Creators keep 80% of their earnings, where they can charge monthly subscription between $5 and $50. So they're not doing it for fun. They're doing it because they're going to get paid. Because, like you said, say a Kim Kardashian. Well, I don't think she's a good example. Someone who's a big influencer, that a makeup influencer or fashion influencer that shows a carefully crafted outfit on their Instagram is carefully curated, and they don't want to show a bad look or a zit or this or that. So they go to Roll, and they, like Carolina said, they have a following so that they can go over and show the bad selfie, the zit, the messed up hair, the whatever mistake they made, and still make money.
Okay.
Now let's discuss.
I mean, if I have access to that, I could repost it. I mean, I just don't. Okay.
And probably that's
Well,
the reason why it's on Roll and not on Instagram, because
right.
if they even did a second account on Instagram, people can post and do stuff on Instagram
Mhm.
and like it and stuff. So what is your thought process, or what is that you're feeling that you cannot be your authentic self on the other one because you have to be perfect for your brand? We
Yeah,
all
and
know
and for
everybody
their
has,
friends.
right, but we all know everybody has the side. You didn't wake up like that. I'm
But
sorry.
remember now, this is a different generation. This is Gen Z that they grew up in digital world, and everything has to be a perfect this, or they have to present a perfect facade. That's where this mental health thing is coming from. So with us, we're like, well, what's the deal? But to them, it's a big deal because this is how they grew up.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
they feel like, and I've seen it all over. These Gen Zs feel like they can't show their art or their true selves because they've built up a following being this person a persona. Now they get to say, well, they can go to this app, charge money, and show, okay, I woke up with bedhead, or I got a zit, or this, or whatever it is. But like Carolina said, you have to have already a big following that cares about that, because they
Make it
see,
profitable. Yeah.
right, they see the model you on Instagram, and then you can come over and be messy you on Roll and still make money.
Okay. All right.
Anybody want to comment from the
I am ready to
clubhouse?
move on. Go ahead.
Dr. Tachi?
So let me, I'm trying to get this straight. You can show your authentic self, or the pared down you without makeup or filters or anything on Roll, and you can make money that way.
Yes, because it's subscription. They have to sign up. That's why Carolina was saying that they have a big following on Instagram or wherever, and then they feel like they could. It's like doing off-brand. They can do off-brand stuff because Instagram. And here's another thing with Instagram: if you talk about fashion and then you know all your posts are fashion or whatever, and you post about something else, it kind of throws the algorithm off for you on Instagram. So that's why people have more than one Instagram.
So this is basically like the busted OnlyFans. Is that what I'm?
Basically, that's what I said, Doc.
I'm not. We do have a comment here on the live. Ann Ellis says, interesting and ridiculous app at the same time.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell. That's it. And remember, these apps will come and go. I remember there was one called Dispo. Remember that?
Yeah.
That you put disposable. You put disposable thing. It's gone.
You take a photo and it
disappears.
Yeah.
Disappears. Okay.
Yeah. It was something crazy like that. Don't try to make sense. Don't try to make sense of it.
Can we roll on?
Yes, we're rolling on.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're rolling on. So let's go to Twitter.
Okay.
Okay, so Twitter, before I get to the big one that they had this week, Twitter is rolling out its communities feature for all Android users. Now, remember, they had something called Twitter Communities, and I said it was like, if you remember Google Plus, like it was pages surrounding a topic, like gardening or fishing or So that's what they have with Twitter Communities. It was iOS only. And I think it was web-based too. So now they've added Android into that. So you find groups related to your interests and chat with like-minded people. So the communities are curated by Twitter. So they're plants, skincare, space, design, fashion, Xbox, and R&B music. Now you can't set up your own community yet, but you can suggest one, and then everybody kind of congregates and talk about that topic. Okay. So that's the Twitter communities. They're adding Android support for that now because it was just iOS and web only.
So community is kind of going to be like groups on Facebook, except for you don't get to.
Yeah, you don't make a group. They make it.
Group.
Right. And they're making them based off of the topics that I just mentioned. There'll be more to come. I haven't seen it. I remember talking about it.
Okay, because I was getting ready to say, did I miss the memo or something?
No,
Because
we talked. I think we
either.
talked about it. I think it was like last year summer or something. I remember talking about it, and I never saw it, but it's around. So again, it's Twitter. Twitter has the separate little communities that are big. That, like I said, journalists, news, tech news, stuff like NFTs. But everything else, people are not really. Twitter's like news. For me, that's just it. But a lot of people don't use it. So
right, what's the point? What's happening in the news instead of actually going to a news channel? You just kind of go
right because Twitter. Yeah. Right, and Twitter started out as that app where whatever was happening right away.
Yes,
you could real go and time. Get real time. So that's what it's for. It's not for that. That now talking about that. Now they're bringing NFTs to profile photos. So they're testing a new feature that allows NFT owners to authenticate NFTs displayed in their profile photos. But you have to be a Twitter Blue subscriber to put your NFT in your profile photo. Now, an NFT is non-fungible tokens. It is how can I explain it? It's like an image that's online, but you own it. And here's the people that make a joke about it says, well, I could just screenshot and copy it and save it, and I own it too. But it's going back to intellectual property and copyright and ownership and stuff like that. So right now, NFTs is kind of like this wild west thing. But I would say in a couple of years, if it stays around, it's going to be the thing that where you can copyright stuff. And you
can publish your NFT for under $300.
Right.
Right now. I don't know if it's going to go up to.
So is this like, go ahead, Dr. Tachi, and then I'll ask my question.
Go ahead.
I wanted to add to that. I'm like hugely interested in NFTs. In fact, I'm like going to create a collection of it. So I've like been soaking up a lot of things. So yeah, absolutely. One thing that proves ownership is that this is created to blockchain. And the way blockchain works is that there is a ledger of who owns what. So you have a wallet, and you have most NFTs are purchased with Ethereum, the cryptocurrency Ethereum. So there is a ledger of who owns what. And so you can decide if you make an NFT collection, for example, that you're going to make this an exclusive, that this is one of one, or you could say this is one of 70. So if depending on how much you charge, say it's like $300 or the equivalent in Ethereum, and so once a person gives you that $300, they own the one of 70. So anybody can make copies of that and post it, but you're not down in the ledger as owning that. So you don't own it. You don't own it. So it's a whole, like you said, wild western world, but I'm really interested in it.
So it's like digital prints.
Okay. If you
something.
If you follow the art world, say you follow the art world, when in the auction at Christie, say a Van Gogh goes up for $60 million or whatever, how do they know that's the authentic Van Gogh? There's something called provenance that it's paperwork that details each changing of hands of the ownership.
Okay.
So that's how they know it's been authenticated, that this person owned it and sold to that person. So that's what an NFT really is, but it's digital. And like, thank you, Dr. Tachi, I forgot the blockchain part of it, the cryptocurrency part of it, where there's a digital ledger. So that is the provenance paper-wise, that there is a digital certificate or digital information that says that person owns the NFT. But I can make a print of a Van Gogh, that you can buy a print of a Van Gogh or Picasso or whatever, but you don't own the real Picasso, do you? No, there's only one. Same thing, Mona Lisa, there's only one. But you can have a copy. You can find a image of Mona Lisa by going to Google. You can save it, use it, print it, whatever, but do you own it? No. That's what it really is. So think of it in that term.
So I'm going to ask this question. So if I decided to create something, I own it. I put it out there. Here's the thing. Where am I hanging it? This is just my thinking. I have a digital. I heard Dr. Tachi say I have a digital wallet. Maybe I have a digital portfolio or something. Because I'm like,
well, everything goes in is connected to the crypto wallet. So this is going. That's what I'm saying. It's really wild west, and it's confusing. But in I would say 5 to 10 years, it's going to shake itself out somehow. But everything's going to be connected to your wallet, to your crypto wallet. NFTs will go in there. Bitcoin will go in there. Ethereum, whatever's to come in the metaverse will go into that wallet, that digital wallet, and it's digital only. And there's like she said, there's a ledger, there's information being exchanged digitally. So think of it like this. So if Picasso was today going to, I'm going to make whatever his famous painting is. Back then he put it on canvas. Today he would do a digital version of it and then say, okay, whoever wants to buy it. And then that thing would go, it depending on if he's Picasso then or just a new person, it depends on how much it goes for in an exchange.
Okay.
Like that.
Oh, I just
so think of that.
It could also be, it's definitely artwork, but it could also be music. It could also be
right.
video. Anything that you can digitize, you can turn into an NFT.
Yeah. Think intellectual property. It could be, I heard, I was listening to a podcast the other day where an author was thinking that they were going to do an NFT for their book about he explained it as they can give out passages that the person can own the paragraph in the book. They don't own the book, but they own a paragraph in the book, and they can do what they want with it if it's NFT. So she's right. It doesn't have to be art. I was just explaining it because you can understand when you make a piece of art, a sculpture or something on canvas. You created that. You're the owner of it, and if you want to sell it, then there's a whole paperwork exchange of ownership, and then that person bought it from you, can sell it to someone else, and there's another exchange of paperwork and ownership. So that's what the NFT is online. And right now it's digital, graphic works, it is music, it could be books, it could be anything intellectual property wise that you create. One person or a group.
Very, very interesting, because
that's what I'm saying. It's confusing, but it's wild west now. People just,
it's still the same. Rush. Like if there's the art thieves of the day, they break in and steal something. Now who the ownership of the art it's in question because somebody stole it. But with the blockchain, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It appears.
And you have to think about it as an investment long term. Say you make an NFT today and it's worth a few dollars, but in 20 years some big corporation wants to buy it or use it or whatever, and they offer you millions of dollars, but you own it.
So now in the graphic world, like when you do artwork or you do some type of logo design or something from somebody, I can see where it no longer follows the end of, the company. Normally when you do graphic design, the company owns the rights to it.
Right. Right.
But the artist can now decide to.
Right. And then a lot of artists not now complain, but a lot of people that do graphic design and stuff, that their works are being stolen. If they put it on their website, people just come and take the image or whatever and use it to print and make products and stuff off. So that I see this as a way to alleviate that. We're not there yet, but it's going to be to where you have the intellectual property and the copyright, and they can't use it or steal it or make t-shirts or mugs or whatever with your design, because that's what's happening now with a lot of people who do graphic design. The images get stolen and people set up a Shopify or whatever shop and sell t-shirts, mugs, pillowcase, things with their image on it, and they have a hard time. They have to hire a lawyer to tell them to cease and desist, and the person doesn't do it. So there's all of that's going on with graphic imagery, because right now you can go to Google and take any image you want. You're not supposed to, but people do it all the time. So this NFT crypto wallet kind of proceed cryptocurrency is going to alleviate some of that down the road, not today, down the road.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's gonna be real interesting.
Yeah,
And
like Dr. Todd, you said, keep your eye on it. Keep your eye on it.
And thank you both for explaining not crypto, but explaining NFTs, because there's been a lot of talk about it. And
right.
It's
And it's because of the one guy, I forgot his name, that he sold his NFT for like $60 million. I think it was like 2 years ago, and people heads exploded, and it was like, oh, you can get like billions of dollars, and now it's that's why I say it's a Wild Wild West shootout. Nobody knows where this thing is going, and just be careful. Just be careful when you're getting into cryptocurrency and NFTs. Just be real careful. You know, people are, buying and trading the Bitcoin, and the price is going up and down and up and down. So be careful. All right. So Twitter's doing that. Twitter's jumping into that. And let's go to I'll go to Instagram, because Instagram and Facebook, because they're doing the same thing. They're going to allow, they're looking at plans to make, showcase, and sell NFTs. Meta, the company Meta.
Okay, they did that with they tried to get us on Libra or whatever it was.
Yeah, remember that? So the plans at an early stage and could yet change. That's a direct quote. So they said teams at Facebook and Instagram are readying a feature that will let users display NFTs as their profile pictures, as well as working on a prototype to let users mint new NFTs. They're also discussing launching a marketplace for users to buy and sell NFTs. So they're using their Novi wallet technology that would probably power much of the supporting functionality of how this marketplace would work. So Instagram, Meta is getting into the NFTs, making a marketplace, because they're going after third-party platforms like OpenSea. That's a place where you can go and you can buy and sell, exchange NFTs and mint and everything. So they're trying to get into that area. So again, this NFT is, you're going to hear it a lot. Just I'll just say keep your ears open, your eyes open, and keep educated. That's what we do. I just keep reading. I read about it. I'm like, well, I'm not ready to get into it because it's still Wild Wild West, and people just
bullets is flying, and you got to duck.
You're ducking, and it could change. I believe a couple of people I heard. I think Trump's wife was making an NFT, and I think Ivanka was making one. Right, Melania. Yeah, so just let that guide you. Go ahead, Tati. Go ahead.
No, she was.
I just called her malaria, but I did want to
malaria.
Exactly. I did want to add, though, you are right. It is wild. One thing I want, though, I really want for people of color to get into these spaces.
Oh, yeah.
Traditionally, we tend to be very conservative with where we spend our time and energy, and particularly money. And I do understand if you don't have a lot of it to go around, that you tend to look at the things that have been traditionally, quote, secure, because stocks are not always necessarily secure either. But this is something that is, unknown. And what happens is, because it's unknown, we then won't take a chance on it. And meanwhile, everybody else is making money off of these things but us. So I really am interested in us really getting into the technological end of it, in cryptocurrency and blockchain, in the metaverse. The metaverse is here. It's not even upcoming, but the metaverse, I'm really interested in us getting in those spaces.
No, I agree. Because there are some people that are, people of color and people that are getting into technology, making these groups, forming groups on Clubhouse. There's a ton. Like I said, Twitter is, I see a lot of Twitter spaces where they're talking about it, and So it's definitely something to educate yourself. And that's what we're saying. Educate yourself down, because like Tachi said, it's here. It's not, I mean, we're calling it that. It could be, it's going to evolve and change into whatever, but we need to be involved and learn it.
Yep.
Just realize it's not, there's risk involved. More so than getting in the stock market. More so than that. So
Right. And if you're creating your own NFT, that's different, because then you're creating yours.
Yeah, there's a lot of Black creatives that they're doing things. They may have thought they had to go the traditional route, and they don't have to do that now.
Mm-hmm.
They can create their art, create whatever they're making, and look at that NFT side of it and say, hey, this might be something I want to get into, but study it, learn it, because there's definitely, like we talked about earlier, the criminals getting into everything, so they'll get into this too.
Yep.
Okay. Definitely something we need to be aware of. So I'm glad all this NFT discussion is happening today. All right, so let's go. Let's jump back to TikTok. TikTok is testing support for paid subscriptions. They want their creators to charge. Well, they're going to allow the creators to charge subscription for their content. So it's a limited test. It's not available. TikTok has not given out details on who, when, what, or how when it's available. They are testing it with a small group of TikTokers. So they're looking at that to where they can allow TikTok creators to choose to charge a subscription for their content. And we don't know where it's going to be or what's happening. So TikTok hasn't given any details. Also with TikTok, they look for TikTok stories. I think we talked about it before that they were going to do TikTok stories. And what they did this week is that they changed where the stories show up. They show up in your For You, FYP For You page feed instead of the stories sidebar. It was a sidebar. I have never seen the stories, but now there's a stories option. So you'll see anyone's stories, not those from people you follow. And you'll create it's called Quick. So when you go into TikTok and you hit the plus to create some videos, you'll see an option called Quick. That will be your cue that this is to make a story. So remember, stories is going to be 24 hours and disappear. And it's going to be highlighted with the blue stories tag. So I haven't seen any stories yet, but if you see them, that's what's happening with TikTok. So again, why are they doing stories? It's another ad placement. Because remember, with Facebook and Instagram, there's so many ad placements.
Yep.
So now they're doing stories in TikTok for ad placement. That's what it's really about. Because if you're doing a TikTok, you're doing a 15-second, 30-second, whatever. That's like a story, right? But it's sticking around on your feed. So now they're saying you can do that same kind of creativity, but make it a story and it disappears. Again, why? Ad placement. So that's the deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I missed one on. Let me go back to Instagram. Instagram allows creators to remix any public videos, not just reels. Because remember, they brought out reels. You could remix a reel. And remix is you take the video and then you remix it and you do something side by side, like an answer, or you dance side by side or whatever. So now they're saying that remix, and it's like TikTok duets. So they're going to allow you to remix any video, not just reels.
Oh.
Now here's the deal. Instagram says any public video on the app is a fair game for the remix, but it's only for videos that are published from this point forward. Someone cannot go back to your Instagram profile and find a video from last year and remix it. Also, you can stop people or don't allow them to remix your videos at all. You can opt out of having people remix your videos from your account settings. Okay, but all users are defaulted to on right now. So when this, it is rolled out, somebody can go and find your video from last year and try to do a remix or a side-by-side answer kind of thing, but you can turn that off.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Also, Instagram, you can highlight your next Instagram live broadcast on your profile, giving viewers an easy way to set a reminder. Have you seen that where you can set it in the feed? You can set a reminder post that you're going to do an Instagram live tomorrow, and you put it in your feed, and then it has a reminder, and they can tap it and they get reminded that you're going live on Instagram.
Oh, actually, that's useful.
Right. Okay. Also, Instagram is they're also testing creator subscriptions. That they're having a subscription feature that will grant users access to exclusive stories and lives, plus add a purple badge next to their name that's visible to creators. So it's a limited test. They're rolling out to just 10 creator accounts. They're saying one of the examples, if you want to take a look, is someone named Eliza Kelly, AlizaKelley, and an Olympic gymnast, Jordan Childs. Those are two examples that they will have this subscription feature, and you can take a look. Now, creators can charge 99 cents to $99 per month for the subscriptions. And Meta will not take any share of the new revenue stream until next year. So they're giving you a grace period of you get to keep all the money. All right. So again, go ahead.
Go ahead, Doctor.
Who thinks? No, I should be quiet. But
no, go ahead. Let's hear.
I'm just wondering who think. Who's gonna pay $99 a month for? I'm just wondering. I know you said it's up to, but I'm like, it's really
a stalker.
Because the creator sets the price. They set the price.
Right.
Like a Patreon. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's why I said I'll be quiet. Okay.
Now, see that this is Instagram. The same thing with Reels. They want you to make more content. More content means more people stay on the app, which means you see more ads. They get more money. So if they're doing this is going to allow people to make more content because they want to make money. They get more people to stay on the app. Instagram gets to serve you a whole bunch of ads. That's the whole wheel of this thing.
So this is for any type of Instagram content.
Well, they're saying for exclusive stories and lives. I don't think it's for feed yet. I don't think it's for the feed yet.
So I could kind of see where they could charge $99 if you're doing a live and it's a live course or a live class. I could see that. Okay.
Right. Because I'll give you an example where this would fit. There's someone I can't remember his name, but he does a lot of he talks about a lot of how to create content and how to do different things, and he does a lot of lives. He has a lot of followers, so he could say, I'm going to do an exclusive live on this topic. If you want to join me, then it's $5, $10, whatever he sets, and the people will pay him, and he will do the live because he's already got a big following.
So you can be a part of this VIP membership.
Yes,
and you have access to these lives.
Right.
Okay.
Right. He could do because he already has. I think he has like 160,000 followers. And every time he does a live, people, every time he does a post or does a live, people are like, they're there. Like, boom, they're there. So he could say, well, I'm going to talk about something exclusive. Like Fran said, join the VIP club where I go into details about this thing or that thing. And people will join because he's got 150,000 followers.
Right.
So he's going to have people come because they're already following him because they like what he's talking about. And he could say, I'm going to do something extra that I don't already do.
This is starting to sound a lot like Patreon and Discord.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To keep people from going to that app.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing. They're trying to keep you in the Facebook, Instagram world.
Yeah. They want to keep you on Instagram. They want to look for this to come to Facebook. If they test it out on Instagram and then they move it over to Facebook.
Yeah. They want a one-stop shop for everything. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And that's your weekend social media news. Very lively.
Wow. Dr. Tachi, are you ready for
Very
us?
lively.
I am ready.
All right. And let us this week in media with Dr. Tachi.
Let me get myself together.
And while she's making her move there, is anybody in Clubhouse want to weigh in? I want to do a shout out to Ann and Cecily. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. Cecily. Okay. See.
Because we talked about a lot of things. I know you got questions about those NFTs.
Yes, Lord, NFTs.
Big
but I'm
thing.
glad you broke us in on it. You understand what I mean? Where it wasn't painful. Like, oh my God. I was like, oh, I get that.
Right.
And then we're in a space where we can ask questions and get clarity.
Right. And see, I'm not saying I'm the expert, because I'm not. This is just what I read. Like Dr. Taji, she's followed a lot of people in Clubhouse in different places. I followed people in Clubhouse and learned and listened and was like, okay, I know the basics. And I was like, I can explain it. If you don't know what it is, I can tell you what it is. But there's lots more. It goes way deeper.
Yes, but right now we like the basics, because I was like, just start me off right there. Yeah. All right, Dr. Tachi, you have the floor.
Well, thank you. And before we get to this, I wanted to say to Terry, TJ, welcome back.
Thank you.
How fresh you look, but I have something for you. I have a song. I just had to play that for you because I really
Thank you. Thank you. I love that. Thank you. I'm telling you, I feel great to be back. It's just, whew.
It's great to have you now.
Good to have you back. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to start on some Rest Wells. I don't know if you saw this, but Louis Anderson, the comedian from Baskets and Coming to America, passed away on
What?
No. Yeah, he was 68, and apparently he was undergoing treatment for lymphoma, which is a form of cancer, in Las Vegas. So his publicist, Glenn Schwartz, has confirmed that he passed away. And in case you didn't know, obviously, I always remember, because Coming to America, the first one, is actually one of my favorite films. Yes. And so I always, think of him as a part of that cast. And he's earned 3 Emmy nominations with his performance in the FX show Baskets. And yeah, it's really unfortunate because the whole first part of 2022 is something else.
What are we, January 21, and we've lost so many people?
Yes, already. So rest well to Louis Anderson. Also, we lost Andre Leon Talley. I'm sure you know that. Yes. A giant in the fashion industry. Just shocking. And so rest well to him as well. So both of you will be missed. And I need for 2022 to ease up a little bit. Because
Dr. Tachi, can I ask you something real quick about Andre? You mentioned something about a documentary about him.
Yes.
What's the name of it?
It is called The Gospel According to Andre.
Okay. Where can we find it? I want to watch it.
Oh, on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you just type in The Gospel According to Andre, you can find it on YouTube. And I don't think it costs anything, but it may cost like $1.99 or something, or $2.99.
Okay. I wanted to see that.
So yeah, it's really eye-opening, and you get to know so much about him and what made him tick. And it's interesting because he's actually from your home. No, you're from South Carolina. He's from North Carolina.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's originally from North Carolina. Attended North Carolina Central. And also, so he went to an HBCU first, and then went to Brown University. So he had a great career with what was his actual? I can't remember his actual position at Vogue, but he was
creative something.
Creative director or editor. He was a former Vogue editor, according to Vogue. Okay. So Rest well. Rest well.
Yeah.
Both of them. So let's talk a little more now about TV, shall we? Let's go over to, well, but we'll talk about Netflix, but let's start with pilot season. So the projected volume of pilot season is going to be well below pre-pandemic levels because there are so many COVID imposed changes that are taking place. So during the holidays is traditionally when Hollywood shuts down for the final 2 weeks of the year. And what was happening was that network executives were used to spending a significant amount of their time reading pilot scripts before kicking off pilot pickups at the start of January. However, that's shifted a little bit because 3 weeks into this new year, we've only had 3 January pilot pickups. NBC's dramas Quantum Leap and Found, and then ABC comedy Joseph. I don't know. That already sounds like a bleak outlook. But usually there's so many more pilot scripts by this time, and you see there are only 3 pickups that they have. Right. So a lot of that is due to the pandemic and the coronavirus. And remember, it wiped out basically the whole 2020 pilot season because it shut down production. Right. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. We're going to really have to rethink the way we do things. It doesn't mean that the pandemic is going to be forever or that things are going to stay like this forever. But if this was not a wake-up call to rethink the way you do production and the way you do things and how can we do things differently, I don't know what was. So while you're waiting to go back to normal, there are people that are moving on with, okay, how do we do X, Y, Z? In fact, I have a bunch of Be More Earths coming up. One going up today, but so one that's going up next week. I did an interview with a Hollywood screenwriter, who has a series on Tubi TV now, and called QT, and it was about quarantine, dating and quarantine. That entire first season was shot at a distance because, of the rules. So they did innovative things like use Zoom, etc., so that they could shoot this. And so it's looking at, okay, how can we do this? It doesn't mean you're going to be in quarantine mode the whole time, but what can we do differently? That's what I'm asking.
Right. Yeah.
Agreed.
I'm not. You would have thought somebody would have came up with some stuff. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, no. That comment, I was looking at the comment. No.
Yeah, Anne has a comment. She says, wait, Quantum Leap is coming back. I was thinking the same thing, Anne. I was like, what? Okay. And,
yes.
And I'm like, why that one coming back? I don't know, but okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know who asked for Quantum Leap, but, do we
nobody.
Any of these reboots? Well, we want, nobody listens. I've been asking you for a different world reboot forever. Come on now.
Yeah.
So, in any case, that's what's happening with that. Our pilot season this year is going to look very different. It's looking mighty slim. So, just be prepared for that. Let's talk a little bit about Netflix. So, Netflix actually has 221.8 million global subscribers, and there's still a lot of room for growth. So the issue with that, though, even though there's a lot of room for growth, their stock actually plunged. I don't know if anybody saw that.
I saw that.
Stock dropped. I don't know if it's a plunge per se, but their stock definitely dropped. And on top of this, Netflix is raising prices on all their plans in the U.S. So if you have a Netflix plan, be prepared to pay through the nose. Actually, not really. So they're raising their prices across all of their plans starting yesterday. So the standard plan is rising to $15.50 per month.
What?
$14. Yes. Get prepared.
Yeah.
pull out that extra $1.50, and then the 4K plan is going to rise to $20 per month from $18.
Wow.
The basic plan does not include HD. I don't know if you all knew this. That's rising to $10 per month, up from $9. So can we stop with the pretense here? Who still has a standard definition television? Anybody?
Mm-mm.
No.
Why is HD not standard? That to me just makes no bloody sense. None. So the fact that they even divided this out into a plan. No, I'm sorry. HD is the standard now, not standard definition. And for those who don't understand the difference, SD is the old format that was basically like a square, 4:3. This HD is 16:9. So you've got a widescreen. Call it widescreen. Nobody watches 4:3 anymore.
Yeah. No, the computer monitors are HD. The TVs are HD.
You might have to go back to cable.
I see this coming full circle.
It is coming full circle, and that's because everybody saw the Netflix model and got greedy and wanted their piece of the pie. And now what you're going to do is actually force people back into the arms of cable, and they're waiting. They're not waiting really with open arms. They're looking at you side-eye because you left before, and they're not going to give you any grace. They're not going to give you any special prices because they weren't doing it when people were leaving. You had to basically ask them, well, I could get such a, okay, well, we could give you. They're still stingy. So, you know.
And they're not on demand. Everything is not on demand with cable.
Mm-mm.
Exactly.
Nope.
Exactly. So that's what's happening over at Netflix. Let's talk about Kanye West. Yay! He claims he's been locked out of the editing room on the Netflix documentary, and he's demanding a final cut. So the film is actually due to premiere this weekend at Sundance. So yeah, if you don't know, Sundance is actually going on now. It's traditionally this last week of January that it happens. Last year, I don't believe that. I think they went completely digital because of the fact of the pandemic. So and definitely 2020. But I missed going to Sundance. I'm acting like I've been several times. I've only been once. 2010 I went, and it was a phenomenal experience. But I wasn't happy with the fact that it was in the winter and I had to drive through those Utah mountains. Heavy snow. That was not fun. So I said never again. But it was a good experience to be honest. So just days before this Netflix documentary, and it's called Genius. Let me spell it for you. JEEN -YUHS. So like genius, but in an easy way. Yeah.
Right.
So, and it's supposed to premiere, as I said, this weekend. And he's demanding the final cut over the film. But why now? You had all this time. It's premiering this weekend. But all right, we already know. So he went to Instagram to voice his displeasure at this. And he said, let me see if I can do it like he would. I'm going to say this kindly for the last time. I must get the final edit and approval on this doc before it releases on Netflix. Open the edit room immediately so I can be in charge of my own image. Thank you in advance. It really sounds like that, but that's how I imagine.
I think so. That's good. That's close.
Okay, it's close. So I'm trying to channel. Again, not too much though. So I don't know why now he would say that days before, because I'm sure you had all this time. But we already know that he's not really playing with the full deck either. So I'm just gonna go to the next story over that one.
Yeah.
On to something else that we all know well. Idris Elba. So the producers of James Bond have confirmed that Idris Elba has been discussed as a potential replacement for James Bond.
Okay.
And
so
go ahead.
Go ahead.
And why we knew this, but okay.
Okay, and
It-
they wanted to say
Nothing. It's just potential.
because before, I guess it was their like pushback that James Bond was a certain.
Demographic.
Yeah, there we go. That was the word I was looking for.
Say it. He's black. Just say it.
Elba is.
Yeah, well, I think he would play a good James Bond. I've been waiting on that.
me too.
It's like, come on, let's do
They
James
would, you
Bond.
know, you know how they would pull in a new demographic if they put him in that role. You know what?
Right.
You know who they would pull in with that? Who don't really watch the Bond movie?
They would pull in a lot of people watching that. A lot of people would come to that party.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I think also that the way people are tied to how fictional characters look is absolutely absurd.
It is.
The point is that Idris Elba he's African, but he's also British.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Right.
could be that that's the thing. People see ethnicity in one light. People don't think of, when you think of Britain or you think of the UK, they don't think of that.
No.
And there are hordes of black people who lived. I mean, my mother was one. So who lived there before she came to this country. So they only see. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and remember, when J.K. Rowling she had the play, the new Harry Potter play, and she made Hermione. They cast a black actress in that role, and it was such a big deal.
Yes.
And she was like, "Get over it," and they just powered through and did it.
Well, and that's the thing, because because people live everywhere. Guess what, folks? Black people live everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
So
We here.
cast any fictional character, and these are fictional characters. And my thing is, when people come out so vehemently strong against casting melanated actors into these roles, that just shows your racism. That shows your ugly underbelly. That's you. That's your problem.
And here's another one, because remember they're doing the Little Mermaid. Remember they cast
right.
Halle
Chloe Bailey.
Yeah, one of the sisters. I don't remember which one.
I think it was. I think they cast Halle Bailey.
Yeah, Halle. And they had a big upset about that for months. They're still talking about it, I believe.
We're talking a fish girl. What the?
She's an animated character. People.
Oh,
and the interesting thing is that it took place in the Caribbean, and there's Caribbean folklore that points to having women of color as, quote, mermaids. So I'm like, oh, so you can have the crab with a Jamaican, quote, accent and a terrible one.
Yes, Sebastian.
Character. And so this points to your ugly underbelly. That's you and your dumb ways. That's you.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with the creation, but you lean on the fact that, oh, well, the author... Which, are you the author? No. Are you making any money off of this? No. So honestly, you have nothing to say. And if you don't like the direction, you are free not to go and watch it.
Right.
Just be quiet. Keep quiet.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they were saying that as it stands right now, no one has been cast as the next James Bond because Daniel Craig retired from the role with No Time to Die. So the idea that the producers had was to allow Craig time to enjoy his send-off from the series before they announced the next actor who is going to play the part. So nobody's been announced yet. We don't know that it's going to be Idris Elba, but I think it would be nice.
It would be.
It was.
I would enjoy that.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I'd vote Idris Elba. Who do we get to send that to? Do we get to talk to somebody about that? And okay, because so we've had very different. I'm assuming we had different production companies do the James Bond throughout the years, back from the 60s all the way through. Has it been the same people?
No.
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
so we can make up our own James Bond and
It's ridiculous. I wish somebody would make a James Bond like character and cast a black man. I would love to see that
so we
outside of it.
should be able to, because whoever's doing the movies
Mm.
has been different producers and stuff, so it's open. We ain't gotta wait till they decide to cast.
Exactly. We should do one. Somebody should do one.
Mhm.
I agree. And action adventure and sci-fi are
Yes.
actually my favorite types of movies and genres of film. I would love to see that happen.
Right.
And
And
that
put
often happens. Go
and
ahead.
put Idris in the role and see how many people show up.
Mhm.
Absolutely. However, I would not suggest that Tyler Perry produce this.
Oh no.
No. I
No.
definitely wasn't thinking about that,
No,
but
they can use his sets. They can
His
use his
studio.
sets,
his
but that's
studio
the
and all of
studio.
that,
But yeah,
Right,
no.
exactly. But he wants to write everything. Can't.
mm-mm. And we can, we can even film in Pinewood if that's where Idris is right at this moment. But
We could. How about Ryan Coogler? Is that his name?
yes, Ryan Coogler,
Yeah.
and
I
some
think Ryan Coogler would be great.
right.
Right.
Oh, if the Marvel people with Ryan Coogler and they take it over, we're gonna have a real good.
Yeah.
Um,
The audience is there. I don't know what's going
I don't
on.
know what you're waiting on.
Let's put it in the air.
Somebody need to jump on that.
Absolutely. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens with that. I have just two more stories for you.
Okay.
So really quickly, there is, and we talked about this. Kevin and I are doing this thing on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Clubhouse where it's called Pop Unfiltered, and we talk about pop culture headlines, basically. So not just entertainment; it's anything pop culture. So, and it's a short show, like maybe 30 to 45 minutes. So we talked about this yesterday. Megan Fox, if anybody gives a damn, she, as you know, has been, or maybe you don't know, she's gotten engaged to Machine Gun Kelly. Yay, that's nice. Basically, it was an Angelina Jolie type of thing where they met on the set or whatever they were doing, and so she was married to Brian Austin Green, and I guess she left him or whatever, and now Machine Gun Kelly has proposed, and they are getting married. So here's the thing. There's a ring that he gave her, and this is what the ring is. It's both of their birthstones. Hers is emerald, and his is diamond. And they, quote, represent two halves of the same soul. And they make this kind of like obscure heart because they're like teardrop shaped. So when you put them together, they make this obscure heart. So, but there are more details of the ring that were shared in Vogue. It says it's a thoroughbred Colombian emerald with no treatment. It was just carved into the teardrop straight out of the mine. And the diamond was directly from Stephen, wherever that means. The concept is that the ring can come apart to make two rings. When it's together, it's held in place by a magnet. And then it forms an obscure heart. And here's the kicker. And you see this right here? The bands are actually thorns. So the inside has these jagged thorns on it, so she can't take it off. And he says, so if she tries to take it off, it hurts.
All right.
When I read that, I was cracking up.
Okay, you read it. Okay.
Yes, I saw it yesterday. Yes, I could. It was I saw it in the New York Times. Incredible.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Anyway, I released the mic. Sorry.
No, please go on.
She's got to take that thing off, and it's going to score. Just take the skin right with it.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me, they haven't thought about practical use. You see what I'm saying? I'm waiting for her finger to blow up and fall off.
Wow.
Well, if it hurts taking it off, doesn't it hurt to wear it? I mean, you have to move your hand around.
But it's kind of like the concept of, you know the spikes when you drive
Yeah.
through them.
Oh, backwards.
It's fine, but if you go back, that's when you can blow out your tires. So I think it's that same concept. You put it on, it's not a big deal. When you try to take it off, that's where the pain.
That is crazy.
And who did they create this together, or he created this and gave it to her?
This seems like some debauchery that they created together and he created. And here's
Oh Lord.
the bigger thing is, so he said he did this in Vogue. The Vogue writer just said, "That's nice, and that's very nice." And he said responded of his pain. So this is a problem. If you are that distrustful of someone,
Yes.
should you be with them? And Megan Stupid Kelly, why would you allow for such a thing? That's problematic.
Why would you agree?
That's
Yes.
crazy.
This is weird.
That's crazy.
It's very weird. It's very crazy. But you know what? Good for you, the two of you. Congratulations.
Was she the only one with a engagement ring with this security measure on it? Does he have a ring?
Does he have a ring
Wow.
like that?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's what we talked about yesterday. Is his band going to be that same thing? Probably the hell not.
And does she have a therapist?
Pain.
Terry said that she got a therapist.
Because this is to agree with something that's like being branded. Come on.
Exactly. It's a
Crazy.
chastity belt. It's like being branded. I find it's problematic beyond just this being what the hell kind of story.
And I pray it doesn't create a trend, Dr. Taji.
Oh no. I don't. I hope
And
not.
Anne says, "Oh Lord, love should not be painful."
Thank you, Ann.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Let me add just one more thing about the Megan Fox. I had to take phone calls. I don't know if you moved on.
No.
But you know, she does already have issues with the fingers because she has a prosthetic piece of finger on one of them already.
What?
No, I didn't know that.
Hopefully, it's the one that the ring is on, so that the prosthetic can handle it.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing for her.
I mean,
Oh Lord.
did she cut it off herself? I mean, damn.
Don't know, but I happen to see. I like all this trivia, and I happen to see an article, and not only does she have one, but so does Daryl Hannah. And depending on the film she's filming, as far as Daryl Hannah is concerned, she will keep hers on or off. It just depends. So far, Megan, she has hers on in all of them. I was like, okay, that's interesting. So,
Wow.
Okay.
It would be. Go ahead.
No, painful to take it off. Who does this?
I don't know. Who agrees to this?
Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you. She's a little bit out there anyway because she's at her days of reformation. I'm gonna try to be a normal person. Was the marriage to Brian Austin Green? It didn't work. So she's back to being Megan, and she's found her soulmate. That's right. And Mr. Kelly. So anyway, I released the mic. I tell you, yesterday, every time I thought about it, I kept cracking up. I said, this is unreal. You know, with Angelina Jolie, we were just like, we kind of understood her background a little bit because it was all messed up. She was tore from the floor. But this to me is like, over the top publicity. And it's going to have its 2 minutes wonder. And that's it.
Well,
Wow.
Exactly. Well,
This is so weird.
Machine Gun Kelly with his demonic black tongue and her now about to be jagged fingers, and I hope they're very happy.
Good luck to them.
Good luck. Godspeed, because you'll need God. Anyway.
All the best. Move it on.
Okay. It just says, so if she tries to take it off.
Yes.
Not him.
Oh, you think there might be a secret?
He don't have one.
Only
Oh
she
no,
has
I
them.
see what you. Okay, you're saying he. That's
Exactly.
why I was asking. Am I the only one going to suffer if this don't go? If this goes in the wrong direction? I mean, like, I think everybody shouldn't feel the pain.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
should be shared
Yeah.
sacrifice. Okay.
Well, he ain't sacrificing his hand.
Okay.
You still open? Does anybody know?
Is what still
If
open?
it's not, it ought to be.
Bellevue.
Oh,
Ward
Oh,
5.
Bellevue.
Ward 5.
there's other places in some cities somewhere that can take them in.
Every decade there's a crazy celebrity couple.
Oh, and this
Yeah.
is it.
Let me stop judging. Do what you like.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Live and let live. So, so finally, Lego. Everybody loves Legos.
yay.
Sued. Yay, Lego. But Lego is getting sued for the copyright of a jacket in their toy set. Now, is this a media story? Yes, it is. So Lego is in Design Taxi. They worded it this way: they're being taken down to pieces. Brilliant, brilliant. Over one of their fashion choices in the Queer Eye set. Now, I didn't know Queer Eye is a Netflix show. I did not know that Queer Eye had a Lego set.
I didn't know that either.
I had no clue until I saw this article. So according to the Fashion Law and Design Taxi, New York-based James Concannon, who's the designer of the jacket, has filed a copyright infringement case against Lego for, quote, intentionally replicating a leather jacket that he designed for one of the show's cast members, Anthony Porowski. So in the complaint, which was filed in a Connecticut federal court just last month, he says that Lego knew what they were doing. And I'm sure in the complaint it said, you knew damn well what you were doing, because they offered him a free Fab 5 loft set, which retails for $99.99 for his 6-year-old to play with, in exchange for recreating the look.
What?
However, apparently they walked back on their end of the bargain, according to the complaint, telling him that Lego does not give away its products for free. And yesterday I said, he was probably like, which do I? Okay, so the artist says that on account of his friendship with Porowski, he had been okay with him wearing the garments on set because Porowski would frequently mention who the originator of the artwork was. So Netflix also usually clears outfits for use, except for when the leather jacket was worn, according to the lawsuit. And the artist, though, said that this was probably a one-time oversight. So in the document, he also says that Porowski sent over a plain black leather jacket to be personalized by the artist, who gave the piece his signature touches. So, however, Lego, they have over $5 billion in annual revenue, by the way, copied not only the individual creative elements of the jacket, but the unique placement, coordination, and arrangement of the individual artistic elements, according to Concannon. And the Concannon's attorney has sent the company a cease and desist letter, only to be told by the toy giant that escalating the issue would be an uphill battle for them. Basically, Lego said, you're not going to win. Lego also purportedly claimed that by gifting the garment to Porowski as a friend, he had granted implied license to Netflix and by extension to Lego itself.
Wow. Okay.
So he's seeking monetary damages, including statutory damages and legal fees. So I want to know what you all think about this.
Well, if you accepted the toy before you made the, you know what I mean, before you came up with another agreement, you just might have blew it. You know what I mean? You accepted the gift or the toy or whatever the exchange was, and now you want to change the terms.
And I can see Well, wait a minute now. I'm looking at these side by side, Dr. Tachi, and while they are similar, they are not um,
Exact.
exact. I
What is
mean,
Right.
But you can argue, which is what I think he's trying to do, that there's enough similarity that it was copied.
So
Oh,
if
I
I
see.
yeah, and it could be, but if I go and get me a Fonzie jacket and then
exactly.
and
And
put
And
custom.
on
right
there
on it, yeah.
right, because the wording on the back of the jacket is not the same
Mm-hmm.
between the Lego and the other one.
Right, but you know, it doesn't have to be exactly the same to prove that there's a theft of concept. So it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Just the fact that the placement is the same, that
Really?
the concepts there are the same. I think that's what they're arguing, because we could say, would they have come up with that if they had not seen it on Porosky on the show?
Well, I mean, Perasi could have said because it looks like a Fonzie jacket from what's the
The
name of that show?
50s. Yeah. Happy Days.
Happy Days. It looks like
Yeah.
a scene from Happy Days. So now
Like
do
a
we
polo
go?
jacket.
So do we go back then, or do we go back to James Dean on the motorcycle, or where does it all end? Because
But it's not about the jacket, it's the artwork on the jacket, because it's the same thing as, all right, well, you paint on a canvas. You're not going to go
Right.
and say, well, the canvas is, you can't use canvas because the canvas is copyright or it's not about the jacket, it's about the artwork more than anything else. So it could be on any medium, it just happens to be on a jacket in this one. So
I'm not feeling that. So
because
then
it is not
we can't get an inspiration from something?
and just
you
draw.
can be inspired by it. You absolutely can. But if you look at, so here are the things. When it
Okay.
comes to copyright and trademark and patents and, all of that, I think the thing is there's also a thing that, called parody. So parody is allowed if you're making parody or commentary on things. That's one thing. But
Mhm.
I think, again, the big thing is going to be whatever the agreement is there. If you agreed to it and you said, okay, all right, that's it. But if there was no agreement made, I think that there's enough similarity in what he did. There would not have been something similar made otherwise unless they saw this to imply that this jacket is based off of the jacket he had on the show.
Mhm.
And you are not trying to pay for the use of this. Now, again, it depends on, like they said, is it because they have a deal with Netflix that they are like, okay, well, we have full reign of whatever? It's really muddy here, and it's going to come down to the agreement. But I can tell you one thing, Mr. Concannon is probably not going to let his friend wear anything else on that show.
Right. Okay. Because here it says the New York-based designer is seeking damages, has accused Lego of making a blatant copy. Well, it's not okay. It's really not a copy because I'm looking at like the little images and stuff. I mean,
They don't match.
that they are one of these things is not like the other, and I'm like,
I agree, Fred.
Here's the thing. I think when you look at it, you're looking at it too literal, because if that it was the case, then anything that was inspired by or whatever, they could be sued for. And that has happened before, where you see sneakers that look like Nike. Nike will go after people really quickly, even if it looks like it's about you have a swoosh type thing where it's in the same spot very quickly. So, but if you look at it, and I'm looking at it side by side now as well, the placement is exactly the same. It may be different in terms of because you've got a Lego head instead of the skull. And of course, the wording is different, but it's the same type of concept. The rebuild the world, this says time is on my side. Obviously, they made it applicable to what Lego would be, rebuild the world, which is, cute, but there's no... there's even the peace sign on there. There's no doubt that this is the jacket that it was inspired by. It's the same, regardless if the wording is different. So I think that's what he's trying to use. The
key here is what agreements were made, or was there an agreement made? That's the key. Because this is the same jacket. It's the same.
Somebody should have just made an NFT and been okay with it. Because right now I'm like,
That's it.
because I'm like, okay. I mean, because if maybe I want to take my leather jacket, oh, I like that, and I start putting stuff and hats and stuff on it, I'm like, now you're gonna sue me because I like, okay.
No, because that's an individual thing. It's one thing when you're doing it for yourself, another thing when you're doing it for sale and profiting off of it. So doing something individually for yourself is not a problem. If the moment comes when somebody makes money off of your creation, that's where this comes in. And I don't know that he had any of this copyright. So that's why they're in court. That's exactly why there's a complaint, and they'll be in court unless they settle this out of court, which probably is going to happen.
Well, Ann says, right, the jacket is the canvas. You wouldn't have come up with that idea had they not seen the art in the jacket in the first place. Okay, but okay, wait a minute. And then she goes on to say, Lego is wrong, stepping on the smaller creator. Okay.
I think because they offered him the set for his kid or for whatever, that might have been the exchange.
He probably was insulted.
Well, not insulted. He took it.
Well, it's $99 versus.
Well, he took it.
No, but I don't know that he took it per se. He said it was offered and then they walked back on it. So I don't know. They didn't clearly explain whether or not he was like, okay, that's fair. But I can see as someone that's an artist, nobody is going to accept $99 as payment for a set at that as payment. I could see if this set was more highly valued, but even then, the money that they're going to make off of these sets, that's where the thing comes, where you put time into creating something, and then somebody can easily just, and here's the thing, you did something wrong too, when you say, well, I wouldn't do that because you're not going to win. Instead of saying, okay, well, how can we rectify this? You lean on the fact that you're a big corporation and say, well, it doesn't matter because you're not going to win. So there's something to that argument. Anyway, that's what's happening in Lego's world. I would tread carefully with this because you don't want to tarnish your name that children love the world over, Lego.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, I might go out, and I don't buy Legos, but I might go out and buy that set because it might not be available for long. Might be a collector's item.
Exactly. So if you're into collecting Legos or collecting things, definitely see if you can get your hands on this set and hold on to it. Because they may have to change the way the jacket looks. So
exactly.
If they make it, they would change it. You would be one of the ones that has this original one. So
right. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Is that it, Dr. Taji?
That's it.
Well, thank you all for joining us live and in the clubhouse. This has been
pleasure.
and a very nice discussion today on all things media, tech, and social media. We want to thank you for tuning in live on the replay on Clubhouse. We'll be back here next week as well, every Friday. And we will also be Monday, we'll be back on Clubhouse and here with coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. Always something that we got going on. Thank you for tuning in live. If you want to become a part of Biz Chicks, we invite you to do so. We want you to be a part of this community because we want to showcase what you do and let other people know what you do, how you serve, how you help. And in order for you to participate in that, all you need to do is text BIZ, B-I-Z, to 33777. It'll take you to a landing page. You can just sign up for Biz Chicks there, and then you'll be able to upload your profile. We will be doing interviews beginning in a few weeks here, and we're going to be picking different biz chicks, going live over on Instagram and just showcasing you and having a conversation with you, and we want you to be a part of that. So if you're interested, just text BIZ to 33777. Join the community and let's get you out there. All right, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate you and everybody being here.
Yes, and we want to remind you to go to the front of your own line. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.